that do it for compassion for the whole world. So we could make some projects in India, we could build some buildings for helping the people, and on my journey there I learned a lot of things. I learned what are mantras, what is Mani Padme Hum, that it is not only a word but a vibration, a force. I learned what is Om, that it is also a force, and that you have to be in correspondence of the universe. If you want to speak about the Om, the word, you can find back also in the Gospel of John. In the beginning is the word. So that means a force of vibration which is bringing harmony, which is harmony, the base of the universe. So my journey was not only theory, it was also praxis. And if I came years later in the library in Amsterdam, then I was continuing the journey. Life gave me a lot of chances, a lot of possibilities. And I felt very strong, what I heard also in the forest in India. The teacher said, you have to bring your message to the people. Go. When we were in the plane after leaving India, he died. And I realized very, very strong what he has sowed in my heart. Tell the people the truth and use stories for comprehending, for making it easier to understand. After 4 years being in the library in Amsterdam, something very strange happened. I had contact with a lot of people in Europe, also in the United States, and they asked me to go to New York for a Grail manuscript from Du Bourgon. My colleague and me went to New York, and after looking and seeing and studying the manuscript from the Grail, from Du Bourgon, the Grail is a very important symbol in the Western culture, like you can see in cz.3 or in the history of Wolfram von Eschenbach. And the third manuscript was Du Bourgon, the Grail manuscript. After looking, after talking about the manuscript, I went to the Empire State Building. I don't like these things. I feel me very strong a stranger in the technological cities. It's not my world. I like the forests, the mountains, the trees. I speak a little bit the language of the birds. I speak with the animals. I feel a very strong contact with them. So if I am in a big city, with high towers, I feel immediately that's not in the measure of human being. I prefer the oaks, the trees, the birds, the crying of the eagle, and the language of the deers. So I was high in the tower of Empire State Building, and I looked, and then the view you can see the Twin Towers. And I'm speaking about more than 20 years ago that I was there. And I looked to the Twin Towers, and I saw them crumbling, destroyed, fire. I was so afraid. I felt it in every cell of my body. I made a movement like this, I can't believe it. It touched me enormous. In the evening I phoned to my soulmate and I said, what I've seen is awfully. I cannot understand with my mind. I feel very strong, it will happen. I don't know when, I don't know why, but it will happen. After that, it went out of my system of conscience. And after the 4.5 years working in the library, in the Gnostic tradition, where you can really understand the beautiful manuscript from the Divina Commedia from Dante, the original, the manuscript, with the designs for Botticelli, where you can make studies in the real Grail manuscripts. Even that famous writers came to our library, like Eco, for writing his book on the rose, because all the manuscripts are there. And suddenly I had a strong feeling, it's very bizarre, from also loneliness. You have everything around you, all the knowledge. Is that what you have to do? In that period I gave a lot of lessons, teaching, really for thousands of people. I made voyages to Poland, and some of my books are published, and I taught in Warsaw, in Gdansk, and other places, and we had wonderful meetings there. I went to other countries for talking about the essence of life, that we are here on this planet for doing what the Eastern people is saying, our dharma, our inner duty. Every person on this earth is having a dharma, a task, and if you forget this task, then it is a lost life. It's very pity then. So I felt very strong that what I taught was good. It was good, it was in the flow, it was in the stream, but that knowledge is having also a frontier. And after about 15 years teaching, I had a strong feeling I've now to go to a place in silence. Don't speak too much. Meditation, contemplation, walking, being in the forest, the mountains, greetings with the namaste, speaking with the serpents, they have also a language, speaking with the eagle. It was a wonderful period. We lived about 11 years, Marijke, my soulmate, and me, in the mountains. But in my background was always the problem of evil. Every time it came back. In the mountains we made studies from the Bhagavad Gita. I had received a wonderful manuscript from a real yogi. Every day we started the day with a meditation, with a book from the history of spirituality, sometimes from the Avesta, the wisdom of Persia, or something from the Veda, the wisdom of India, sometimes from mysticism, Meister Eckhart, Sufism, Rumi, Halai, other important Sufi masters. And I realized that more and more all the things you studied came literally in consciousness. It was as if everything which was unconscious came to a level from knowing with the heart, because often we have the meaning that a book cannot help you. A book can help you, a good book, a spiritual book, but with a frontier. That is a time that you have to put down your books and then let it go. And it was in that period that I let it go more and more. Then I had some experience in the mountains which remembered to another experience I had when I lived in the Netherlands. That I one day looked to a little lake. I was sitting and I only looked to a flower on the lake.